Hey, this is Ben. This is the 32nd stanza of The Art of Peace. I'm going to tame my mind by focusing in on my experience of indecision. Indecision, just trying to nail it down is tough because as I'm trying to interact with indecision, deciding to interact with indecision keeps jumping in and out. So it's like my focus just pops. So it's like looking at a popcorn kernel on a griddle right before it pops into a popcorn. It's this, and then it's something totally different, and I can kind of bring my awareness back to it, but it keeps popping away. And inside of that are the bodily sensations of doubt. Should I be thinking about this? No, I should be thinking about that. So this is happening in microseconds. It's not a big experience in this context. It's simply a momentary expression, but I feel it. I feel it as sensation in my body, so it has a thought element and a felt element. And I know about this from what I know about the hippocampus and the release of hormones into the body. So I know that each time I experience these little pops, there's a tiny little dump into my body. Just a tiny little dump of hormone. Now, when I say hormone, I say something with, the least amount of strength in the word. Our hormone capacity is infinite, and it never dumps the same amount or the same way into the body twice. It's always got subtle variations based on the environment at that moment. So even though I'm aware of all this, I'm aware of the feeling itself, I'm aware of where it comes from, I still really experience that drop, and it's a sinking down. There's a feeling of worry, like if I don't fix this, the future is going to be bleak. I do my best to give it awareness for you through language, but know that that's a really, really, really limited medium to share information. Language itself, ideas itself, are okay, but it's just not the fullest way you can share experience, share awareness. Yeah, share awareness. That's a helpful way to think about it. When you want to share your awareness of something to someone else, when you want to share your awareness, just using ideas and words really limits your capacity to share awareness as you fully can. There was an interesting piece yesterday on NPR where this expert was sharing the phenomena of human beings being very good at othering people, making them the enemy, when all they know about people is the way they think from what they see in written word, so through writing. And then they connected those same people physically, visually, so that they could see the other side, explaining their reasoning behind the way they thought. And when people saw their body language, when people saw the way these people were expressing themselves, not so dissimilar to how someone else was expressing themselves, when they put that in front of them, they began to empathize more. And I think the reason that is because they're sharing and seeing the awareness of the being as opposed to the idea. So the being is comprised of the breath, the facial expressions, the shoulder blades, the alignment of the spine. Every element of the being has a tiny little expressive presentation, and when we can see that, we connect to it immediately because it's so real. And what was interesting about the NPR piece was right after he talked about this, the woman, the interviewer said, "What is it about animals? How can we connect to animals so well?" And I didn't like his answer, but I think the reason we can connect and empathize with animals so well, no matter how tough we are, is that they don't come with the ideas. They just have, you don't think about a dog talking as part of your regular dog awareness. Your dog awareness isn't one of having a conversation with your dog. Your dog awareness is one of connection to the experience of whatever life is bringing forth, and that animal expresses that experience without language. So you connect to it, the physical, the sensational experience, the visual presentation. And so it just confirms the fact that if you want to share your awareness of anything with anybody, it's not good enough to give them just ideas. You got to put those ideas in front of them or create an environment through which people can experience or have a unique experience beyond the idea. Beyond the idea. So moving beyond the idea involves authenticity. So it's in the moment. It's not contrived. It's fully realized inside that moment. And so if you have awareness that you want to share, how do you share it in such a way that creates an environment that is an experience as well? How do you engage the senses of the audience that you're trying to share your awareness with? The neat part about it is that if you want to share the experience of authenticity, the easiest way to do it is with your own authenticity. The way you become more authentic is by first recognizing the moment, taming your mind, bringing your mind into presence through one of your senses. From there, send your presence through your feet, your pelvis, your core, your heart, your throat, top of the head. Take a full breath in, check that all out. Exhale into an intention. Now, your next inhale gives you an opportunity to be as authentic as you possibly can be, to include every last little piece. Now, this is just what you practice. You practice being authentic. You practice being the most authentic, acknowledged presentation of who you fully are. And it's different every time. It's different every time. Now, your awareness, your capacity to be authentic has value, has absolute value. And what's cool is that in our society, we can express value monetarily. We can express value quickly and efficiently and in an interactive way monetarily. And it is a real feeling. It's a matter of survival. So by sharing money, you're sharing your optimism, you're sharing your confidence, you're sharing your security, you're sharing your trust. And by sharing your trust, you create a loop. You're never not going to practice awareness. It's never not going to be an interesting examination of what it means to be alive. Therefore, the more you share, the more you bring it to others, bring the awareness, share your awareness with others, the more we all benefit. And what's nice is that we have these tools that can generate attention, can make things bigger. And if you're sharing your most authentic self, you're going to attract others. And with that attention, there can be money tied to it. And you can generate essentially trees, social media trees, that become part of your most authentic representation of yourself, what you are trying to authentically share with others. And it can be part of your professional your professional presentation to the world. Now, what's cool is Sensei understood this. He's smart, dude. I mean, these are some... Not the ideas that he presents, I think, aren't just smart. I think they are appropriately placed in the sequence of evolution. You know, so like if we came together in an order different than we did, like think about the order of the amygdala versus the neocortex. Like the amygdala, the lizard brain, came before the neocortex. The lizard brain is all about survival. You got to have it. It's got to be there. The neocortex is all about our most evolved selves, connecting to others, language, symbolism. And imagine if the neocortex could never have begun before the amygdala, the lizard brain. And that piece had to have been there first. Without that piece, you can't get to the next piece. Anyway, Sensei, I think, follows that same path. It's the placement of the wisdom that's very significant. So anyway, the 32nd stanza in The Art of Peace: economy is the basis of society. When the economy is stable, society develops. The ideal economy combines the spiritual and the material, and the best commodities to trade in are sincerity and love. King, out.